Hello and welcome back to Fair Play Racing League. And tonight we're here in the Netherlands in the world famous Zandvorrt track for the Tier 3 race, which is round 15. I am your host, Silverside Boy, again, and I'm joined alongside by.
BGM 1992.
Yep, TJ's back where he belongs.
Yeah,
So, TJ, let's start off. Did you have a nice 1 week break?
yeah, it was good. Thank you very much. Just what the doctor ordered. Feeling a lot better than I was. So yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, we always say, especially with this way this game's going at the moment, always a little bit of break from this piece of shit. It's probably the best way of helping out, as I'm going to sort out my TV settings because everything's too loud in my headphones. As I will have to point out that we have a few new. We got a few driver seats. We got one driver seat change, and that's the Alfa Romeo. Spenio 90 has um, dropped his full-time seat and has given up. And VRL Vara, who's only been here since Austria, has decided to take up that seat. So this will be his first outing for the Alfa Romeo team. So all the best for him, and hopefully he can bring the points in for the Alfas Romeos. So TJ, how do you think the driver's going to tackle this track today? As obviously, as we know, last year this track was horrendous.
Yeah, I don't think it's much better in this game, to be honest. It's still twisty turny. I think there's still a few corners where the traction can slip from you. And if you haven't got the setup right, you'll definitely feel the car not working the way it should. Um, but yeah, I think it'll be a case of whoever's got the best setup and who's more confident over this twisty turny track, especially through the back end of sector one and through sector two, really.
Yeah, it's gonna be like you said. Like obviously, it's gonna be one of those tracks that you're gonna have to maybe. Obviously, you don't want to have too much high wing because you'll be vulnerable on the straights. But you also don't want to be too low wings because you won't be able to go around the middle sector and the first sector well. As we see, Squid being out first. It's the first time for Squid to be out on the track first. I know he usually only does one lap and then comes into box. Let's see how he does through the famous Twins corner from last season. If you know, you know.
No comment.
Sorry, Twins.
Um,
As
yeah,
he's
as it comes to this tricky turn 11, 12, it looks like he tackled it pretty well there, to be honest. All the way down to turn 13, where you know keeps off the curb and he has, but he hasn't taken much curb on the exit. Coming on 14, the rear can slip on your here, but he's done a fantastic job there, all the way down to the line. And sets a baseline on the 112.9 as David Lol faces again. I think, is it David or Diamond? It was Diamond coming behind who knocked out the park by nearly 1.1 seconds.
yeah. There's our championship leader, Diamond, who I can't remember. Did he win Belgium? I think he did win Belgium. I can't remember who were the other podium set. Oh yeah, it was Diamond, Weary Bum, and Cruiser. Weary Bum and Cruiser absolutely calling the strategy at the end of the race and managing to basically sneak those last podium places. And unfortunately, again, Diamond being untouchable. I don't know when he can win the championship, but do you agree now and think, TJ, that he is championship champion elect?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. There's plenty as champion elect, and it's just a matter of time of when and not if anymore. I don't think he can win it tonight, but I believe if he gets a decent points overall here, it sets him up very nicely for next week.
And there's the I'll say new driver. Well, newly returned Button 22 in the Alpine today. Got a message from him saying I picked him. I put him in the wrong car. I couldn't rig it for a second week in a row. Sorry, Button.
Yeah, we can't have Team Fish Face again, or that was fixed last week, and yeah, rightly so. Sit in your button. Sit in your Alpine button. You'll enjoy
Oh,
it, lad.
someone's. Who's this in the wall? Who is that? Oh, it's Tattooed Star. Skirida's teammate had spun at turn 7, which I know this year is a little bit different. You can take a little bit more curb on the inside, unlike last year where the car would just spin. I think you can take a little bit, but it's the exit curb. If you hit that, especially with his ground force, as he goes for another little spin, he's all clear behind, so he should be alright. Twins corner has claimed somebody. Hopefully we won't be cursing anybody tonight. Diamond.
Yep, definitely.
Yes,
I'm on board a Locker, who's the next man around in the Aston Martin. Taking sectors on very nicely here at the moment, coming through turns 4, 5, and 6. Comes to break zone 7, and this is always a tricky part, as you mentioned. You can take the curb, I think, but he's choosing not to. As it comes to turn 8, doesn't take the curb on the exit, which I've seen some drivers do, into 9, and then swings the car around for 10, and getting himself as straight as he can for DRS wide open, all the way down to turn 11 and 12. Think about where you need picky braking points out here, and takes turn 11 with a bit of curb, sets himself for turn 12 as the car rotates very nicely here, hits the curb on the exit, all the way down to turn 13, decides to not ride the curb again, but hits the exit curb as I didn't see earlier. Turn 14, and all the way down to the line, and this is like a pretty decent lap, so we'll see what time he puts in. Puts himself P5 for 112.6.
Yeah, that's a very, very handy base lap time if he's doing that for Delta. I think everyone in the top 5 are safe. Maybe David as well, because obviously it's quite hard to gain like time around this once you set a lap in. I think it's more like, I now need to carry more speed, but you're so terrified of dropping it. I think that's what the motor drivers are going to have to get over today. But if there's one man that I think we should include, TJ, is Force Manure. Do you know he's on a 6-point streak now? He's got 6 points in a row.
Yep, fantastic from the guy that unfortunately picked the unwanted record last season, was picking 0 points up and wasn't looking much better this season. But yeah, getting having 6 point finishes in a row, he's a man that's been reformed. People are scared of him, and rightly so, because Force Manure is a fantastic driver.
Yep, we all thought that his record would have been over last week, because he finished P11, but after the race penalties were applied, he actually finished P. Hang on a minute, let me just check for you. I don't want to get this wrong. He finished in a nice, as it hasn't been updated, I think it was P10. I think he got 1 point, so better than nothing. I think he'll just be happy that he's getting regular points, as we're going to watch him go around probably for another. I love how it tells me he's on a time lap, even though he's just come out the pits. Jesus Christ, EA.
Yeah, as you were talking about Force Manure, fish gets come across line 112 flat, so that's a fantastic lap from the Mercedes driver. And Scotsman set a purple sector 1 as he comes to the end of sector 2, sets a purple sector 2 as well, so obviously don't know if that's his personal or whether that's an overall one, but it's looking very tight from Hash drive again as he comes through to sector 3 and trying to pick up his braking point for turn 13. Hits the curb a little bit on 13, but lines himself up fantastic for 14. DRS open all the way to the line. This has looked very tight up from the Hash driver. Puts himself P4 for 112.1.
Yeah, another I would say man that has shocked the tier 3s this season is Scotsman. Obviously Scotsman didn't have the best year last year in tier 2. I think we can both agree on that, TJ, as we raced him. It wasn't the best showing from himself, but he's revitalised himself, and he got that surprise pole at the start of the season, and I think he'll probably agree he's got a little bit unlucky in the last couple of races as he's decided to stop completely. Also, I've just noticed in the chat, Eagles put Team Fish Face will live on forever, no matter what car you fiddle button into.
Okay, because what you don't know, Eagle, is there's been a contract put on Button for tonight, um, and I can't say who sent it out, but Button needs to just watch himself, I think.
Yeah, I was speaking to Fish Sticks and Button just before we started the streaming as someone has gone around. Who is that? Is that Tattooed Star? It is not going well for Mr. Tattooed Star, who I know is definitely trying to show some potential because he is looking for a full-time seat. So he's trying to prove something, but doesn't need to, as he is the next driver that's in line. So
Yeah, I mean, it is a tricky track. If he's running medium traction, fair play to him. You know, some people do run full traction. It could also be his rears. If he has got his tire temps a little bit too high, that could be affecting the stability of the car. You know, the way the car sets up this year, you've got to have the low tire temps, especially on a track like this where there isn't really many zones to cool down your tyres other than the main straight. The best of the time you are working the tyres constantly. Or you've got the unfortunate way he's gone for a setup that's just too unstable.
yep, I don't know if you watched last week, TJ. I may have experienced that problem last week in Belgium. One, for some reason, ran the tyre pressures at full percentage, like in time trial. Couldn't go in, came into box, changed the tyre pressures down, accidentally changed the front wing from 2.0 to 10.0, and the car was undrivable and I crashed it into the wall.
Nice, well
And
done.
then through the entire race, I had a car that couldn't go up Eau Rouge flat out. I had to completely let off the throttle each time, and literally I had to correct the steering so many times through the corners until I came into box to change it to stabilise it, and then it worked out better. I somehow managed to come from the back to fifth. So I take that as a win. So I can tell you from experience, as VRL Val has just gone slightly wide on turn 7 and has invalidated, which is very unlucky because I don't think I've ever seen anyone invalidate going wide there. As there is I think there's a Red Bull. Who was that? Was that MC? Yep, that was MC. On his time, didn't get hold up too much by Valor. It's gone purple in the second sector, so this might be just purple to P10 of Soprano Legend, who is sitting in a box. Probably will need to go out, will definitely need to go out again, as there's some quick drivers of Willy Bar, Mongo still to setting there's a potential time.
Yeah, as you
And there
mentioned,
is,
Willie Bump, I am on board with him currently, and through sector one, he's been so tentative of putting the power down. I mean, he's already nearly a tenth and a half up on his time through sector one. He is looking very uncomfortable with the setup he's got on currently.
yeah, I don't know if it's more about setup. I think maybe trying to find something that you're comfortable with in the corners and just do as much practice as you possibly can to get into the muscle memory, as he's 6 seconds up on his time. So at the moment he's going to be still at the back. But let's see what he can gain more time. He's going to need to gain like another 2 seconds just to get through. As he goes to a 112.4, so he is through at the moment with less than 4 minutes left to go. The top 3 have retired from the session. David Lolface has gone. David Lolface 65 hundredths up, going into sector 2. Has now 2 temps, so this is going to put him about where Willy Bum is if he can hold it. David's one to talk about. David's had a great run of form recently. He's nearly been up where Diamond has. I remember his Hungarian lap. He actually nearly out qualified. Nearly actually got pole, as he's just missed out on, lost a 10th in the last sector, and now Cruz is on the bubble, my McLaren teammate, but he has just come out of the box. Also, I would like to play, he is a fraud because he's not running a Scottish crash helmet.
Oh, it's still going from bad to worse for Tattoo Star, who's now dropped it in between turns 8 and 9. And I don't like to call drive out so early, but I think he's probably banked for going out in Q1, which is a shame for a driver that's trying to prove himself. But Forceman Yor, who's also
Oh no,
currently
David's retired.
sat P70. Oh, I think he's crashed it yet.
He's
Forceman Yor goes 9 tenths quicker, still in the drop zone, but yeah, David's dropped it at turn 9.
Oh no, I just saw. Yeah, he was on the inside. I think Nigel Piggle in the social race that we had at the start of this game had the same problem there. I was going to say at the start of the stream that obviously a lot of these drivers will have actually drove around this track due to that social race that we had at the start of the season. As Cruz has just made a monumental mistake. He's just understeered into the bank turn up to the wall and come in. So that Cruz has now got to rest on Valor, his teammate Force Manure, or Tattooed Star to beat him. Actually, no, sorry, what am I talking about? I'm dumb. Don't just ignore me. It's not Q2 yet. Sorry. I think.
Oh, Tattoo Star's dropped it again. It's in between turn 8 and 9. And I think at the time left, I mean, he could be. I think the time left, he hasn't got really time to cool them tyres down and get back around again.
Yes, I think Cruiser, you're safe, mate. You're fine. Cruiser, meanwhile, in chat, tactically, totally didn't just drive into a wall. Yep, Cruiser, that's going to be mentioned later, mate.
As I see,
I did. I did not clip it.
David has fallen victim to this fantastic coding on F122 where you make the lightest tap in the wall and the absolute car just blows to smithereens. But you can absolutely whack a wall and then you just take your front wing off.
So, Tattoo, just want to put it in that the entire world is watching you, so give the mail.
Yeah, I'm all there and I'm bored with him, so I'll take it away as he comes down to turn 1, picks his braking zone out, probably a bit deep there, but still pulls it in very nicely. The car rotates very nicely. All the way down to turn 2, hits the brake a little bit, and normally people coast through there, perhaps a little bit heavy on the braking there, but perhaps being cautious as well. Turn 3 didn't look very comfy, it's all about putting your foot down as you come through 4, 5, and 6. Line yourself up for 7, and he's hitting the apexes very nicely at turn 7. He's 1.1 seconds up on his time currently. I don't know how true that is. But we're waiting.
Down.
Was he down?
Yeah, it was 1.1 seconds down.
Oh, and he's dropped
never mind.
It at turn 9, and that is Tattooed Star out of Q1.
Now we get to watch him do the world's worst 3-point turn.
I mean, as a driver, I don't think he's actually set a clean lap all race, all quali. And that won't put much confidence into him for the race. I think he's dropped it now between turns 8 and 9 about 4 or 5 times. And yeah, it's just not a good feeling when the car's so unstable under you.
Yeah, especially on this one with all the undulating from the up and down, the elevation changes. You do not want a car that literally bottoms out, as it. I think his car is just bottom out. Also, I just want to point out, James Locker has put a nice message for you in the chat, TJ. Want you to read it out.
Plus 1.1 means downloaders. I mean, TJ, mate. That's what I said, didn't it? I'm sure I said down, didn't I?
You said up.
What can I say? I was in the moment. Leave me alone.
Yeah, don't worry. I got really confused and thought it was Q2.
Yeah, come on.
So it can happen. It can happen. Locker, you would know this if you actually did commentary more often. Didn't always jump out to the pub.
I can't believe you shot 5 shots at Foul Stokey like that.
Yeah, it's alright. As that's the end of Q1, and we've only lost 3 drivers. It should have been 2, but Tattooed Star did not set a good lap in that Williams, so he'll be looking for better in the race. Force Manure P16 just couldn't get the lap time in when he needed to, and David Oilface, our one and only retiree due to hitting the wall, is down in 15th. So that's going to be a hell of a recovery from him to get back up to where his teammate is.
Yeah, definitely. As it looks pretty, I don't know, I could say it looks pretty close currently, but I think the top 12 look pretty close, and you've got Valor and Skiradu probably a bit further back to the rest of the grid, so it could be an interesting Q2 here. Obviously, they're going to lose 4 drivers this time round.
Yeah, I think the from first to 13th was separated by just under a second, so it's not that far off. I know Button was only 26 thousandths off Diamond, so Diamond's. Speaking to Diamond after the Hungarian Grand Prix, when we get off the air, TJ, after shitty EA decided to cut end of that race.
Yep.
Thanks, EA.
Yeah, that was horrendous. That was.
Diamond was getting a little more worried as Mongo has left the session. Diamond was getting a little bit worried about Button because Diamond's not really had anyone has had to push him that hard in a race. I'm not too sure if it is going to rain for these qualifying. It does look very dark.
What, did you say it was at Mongo that lost that guy?
Yeah, Mongo. Yep, Mongo.
Yeah, it's not looking very sunny on Zandvorrt currently, is it? Perhaps that is affecting some of the track as well, and perhaps seeing some drivers slide around a little bit. But we have got the Ferrari Diamond who's wanting to come out early here.
Yep. I am really hoping to see the conditions that we experienced in Tier 2 last season, TJ. Remember where it started on dries, went to intermediates, and then went back to dries. Love seeing those races where the race is won and lost, where when people can call the strategy right when it comes down to when to put the wets or the dries on in the changeable conditions. I love changeable condition races.
Yeah, I do love changeable races. I do remember the race from last year, and it's a race that isn't a fond memory for me. I
think that was someone's fault.
Yeah, I was frauded in the changeable conditions, and fell victim to something, which we won't discuss. We've moved on from that.
I think the same person also frauded me that race weekend as well. But
inside information in the Twitch chat. It is going to rain.
But is it going to rain? So the way David says that probably means it is going to rain because David's real Talbot lying.
Yep. So thanks for the inside information there, David.
I'll buy you a beer on Friday, David. on Saturday when we go out drinking to a club.
Yes.
Have you heard what we do? We go to a club and dressing up as skulls.
Nice.
We get our face paint with skulls because it's a Halloween party we're going to. So,
oh, nice.
Take you missing out, TJ. But as we see Diamond making his way through the first sector, he looks so confident. 25-0, which is, as far as I remember, is the best first sector time of the session so far. So it looks like Diamond's on it, like a car bonnet. Oh, never mind. Well, that's a curse. That's a curse. If I've ever seen one. Said he's on it, car on it, the rear goes and steps out on him. He's going to have to get out of the way because I think that is Skvid behind who has made it again into Q2. I know in Hungary, TJ, little information, he wasn't happy that he made it into Q2 and Q3.
Oh, okay. I do think he likes to take a bit of a break between Q1 to the race.
Fag break.
Yeah.
He wanted a fag.
So yeah, I mean, you're just too good, Skivit. As he goes from around the line now. And sector 113, Robert Cruz is going to follow very close to the 112.3. And the time just keeps tumbling. Valor goes quickest now with a 111.8.
MC now. Panic End 111.7. Jesus Christ. It's like, so we're going to go on board with Willy Bum now. Actually, sorry, where's Locker? Where's Locker? Where's it? No, what? Sorry. We'll do Willy Bum because I thought Locker was on a lap.
Yeah. as he comes down the
Here we
final corner, and is he on a time lap? Yeah, he's on a time lap, so we'll see what time he puts in here. And P3 for 112 flat, so the track is ramping up massively here. As we got fish sticks coming around the corner now, have we? Yep. Oh, quick,
sets down the marker.
11.7. I mean, no fish sticks been quick in P3 this year. He'll be wanting to challenge for pole position, definitely.
This won't be a very fast lap from Diamond Duchess. He's only got 60% battery as he makes his way into the final corner around the banking, which is actually horrible last year, but it's actually so much better to do this year. And he's going to go a 1:12.1 with no battery, which is just an incredible lap time. But we know he'll probably go again. As I'm going to go now on board with Loco. Matt now makes his way through the final corner on a time lap. And he goes a 1:12.1. So he's in front of his championship rival, if we can call that rival. Where Diamond being so far in front. At least it's not worse than Object Fungus and the Tier 1s.
That is very true.
Have you seen the championship standings? Object Fungus on 308 points. Adds to 98. Second place doesn't even have over 100 points.
Yeah, he has dominated Tier 1. But I do believe he can win the championship this week, actually. As we've got a button that's coming through turns 13 and 14. He's looked very clean on this lap at the moment. And we'll see where he's set. And puts his car in P3 for 1:11.8. Another cracking lap from Button there.
Going forward, Soprano just caught the end of his lap. 9th for 1:12.4. Couldn't move it up at the places, but let's go on with the godfather of the league. The founding member. The Dog's Barks. Enough Scotsman. On his out lap, his first, making his way out for the first time this session. Don't know if he'll like me calling him the Dog's Barks.
He won't mind it, he'll love it. As I am on board, the Monga currently is coming through sector 2, and probably the cleanest lap from Red Bull driver, but he's doing well at the moment. He's set a purple sector 2, which it's pretty rapid the sector time he's set. His sector 1 was a bit poor, so we'll see what he can do here. As he comes through 13 and then shapes himself up for 14. There's some embankments here and hits the DRS line with his DRS wide open now. He's used all his DRS deployments before he come out the corner, the last corner actually, and then he's at 12.3. I do wonder how he used all his DRS up.
Yeah, I've noticed that few of the drivers, if we watch on board with Scotsman, right, we're on board with Scotsman right now, you'll watch his battery by the yellow line at the end of the session. Some of the drivers are literally got nothing to the run to the line, and I didn't think that this track was a lot on the ERS deployment just standardly when you're not using it, pressing the overtake button, but apparently this is, for God's sake, another person that's dropped it at the arm. As Mongo needs to be careful. Oh, that was very close from Mongo. He probably didn't know where Scotsman was on the track, just knew he'd spun. Cruz is out for another attempt. Cruiser will need to improve by at least a couple of attempts to ensure his safety.
Yeah, definitely. As it looks like a lot of drivers are struggling, like third between 8 and 9. They come off 8 into. I'll try to shape themselves up for 9. The rear just doesn't like it and just complains and goes away on them. That could be a concern for these drivers in the race, especially when the pack's close together and you could DNF yourself.
Yeah, it's the exit curb. It's like when you go through that tight little jinking right, it's the next time when you're trying to set yourself up. But you said if you hit that curb on the outside, your car just bottoms out and just throws you out. And I think that's what's called Scotsman, David, and a Tattoo Star to spin twice from there. As we're going to watch the sole McLaren of Cruiser, still in that lovely livery from the Singapore Grand Prix. Still in the game. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a
56.
fan of it.
Oh, if you were a McLaren driver like you were last year, you would say, "I love it."
No, I much prefer the way the Monaco one they ran last year with the blue on it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't introduced that in the into the game yet, because that is one of the fan favourites, and one the fans have been requesting for. As Cruiser is, I think, was up still, so he is on target to improve his time, but where is he going to improve it? Also, I've noticed that David Alves is saying Monza Skvid, sorry.
Yeah.
Here comes Cruiser. It's going to a very good time. This is. Oh, that is a. He found a lot of time in that last sector. Gained 4 attempts in that final sector to go P2, so he's definitely safe.
Yeah, fantastic lap from McLaren driver there. Yeah, he's pretty safe for that currently. I think the guys that should be worried are probably from maybe Willy Bum, or maybe Locker. I do think you need to be able into the 11s really to guarantee your safety. Scotsman did improve on his second run to a 1:12.4, but just wasn't enough with them worn softs. So he's got to dive into the pit straight away, put a fresh set on, come back out.
Yeah, but just look who's making his way now on a timed lap. It's Diamond Douchey. Let's see what his time. What is he going to be? Purple in the middle sector, and he is purple in the middle sector. He's 2 tenths up. It's still not anywhere near where he needs to be. He's going to be about P6 with this time, but we know he can gain a lot more time through this final sector. Cruiser showed it. Here comes Diamond. And there it is. There it is. Another 4 attempts he gained in that middle to go that final sector 1:11.6. So it looks like a lot of people are finding a lot of time through probably one of the easiest sections in the game. Oh, I mean on this track.
Yeah,
it's just foot to the floor.
Yeah, it's all about the exit through turn is it 14? Sorry, 13. If you can get the entry and exit into 13 right, you can gain so much time going through 14.
If there's someone that needs to make his way out and someone needs to prod him, is TS9 hasn't come out of the box yet.
Yeah, perhaps leave himself just for one run. As I'm on board of Locke, who's taking turn 1 now, and he'll be hoping to improve here. So I'll ride on board him throughout this. He comes with turns 2 and 3. Very tentative on the throttle currently, but he's keeping it. He's taking lines that are really good. Now all about coming through 4, 5, and 6. Lining yourself up for turn 7, and he's hitting the apexes very nicely here. Picking his break point out for turn 7, and he's just down on his time through sector 1. A bit of a bumpy ride coming up to turn 8, but it hasn't set the car too much. Coming through turn 9, swing the car back around for turn 10. It's all about trying to get it straight as quick as you can with the foot power down to the floor, DRS wide open, all the way down to turns 11 and 12. And he's only just up on his time now. The Locker really needs a fantastic last sector here. It's all about trying to get the entry and exit to turn 13 right. Hits the curb on the exit, which I've seen most drivers do, which gains you the most time. Coming for 14, DRS wide open now, all the way down to the line. And only just improves by just under a tenth. And I do wonder if that is enough to keep him to gain through to Q3.
Yep, as now Mongo is starting his final lap of the session. Just noticed that Soprano, Scotsman, and TS9 have all decided to come out. Well, TS9's finally decided to come out, I mean.
Yep. As I'm on board of Willy Bum, he was just down on his time in sector 2. So he needs a bang in sector 3 if he wants to improve as well. Gets the exit at 13 right into 14, looking a bit squirmy on the car, but keeping it on track currently. and he's down to the line, and only just improves by 5 hundredths of a second, and puts himself into P7 ahead of his teammate again.
This could be a problem for the Aston Martins. There is 4 drivers that could beat their time and they could actually be knocked out of Q2. As Mongo has gone purple in the middle sector and is now making his way through the final section. Is he going to put Rocco and Willy Bum closer to the drop zone? Yes, he will. Goes P7. We're on 11.9. Let's see what Soprano can do. Unless Scotsman is closer to the line. Scotsman is closer to the line.
Yeah,
Scotsman
2.5 tenths up. But he still needs to find more time here. And we'll see what he can do for his last leg. TS9's put a 1.12.1, so not enough to go through to Q2, Q3. It's all about Scotsman now. See what he can do if he can put himself into Q3. Puts himself P7 and puts Locker on the bubble here. And
it's Soprano Legend.
All about Soprano Legend. And he's 7,000ths up on his time, so it's not enough current. So he's got a fantastic last sector here. And improves himself to P10, knocks Locker out to Q2. I do think Locker's trying to push him, but he hasn't got the ERS to do this, I don't think.
He's 9,000ths down.
Yep.
This will be the shock. Oh, he's messed it all up in that middle of that sector there. He's gone too tight and lost all the speed. 1,000th of a second Soprano has Locker out by TJ. Look at that time.
Yeah, and we'll see what if Locker can improve any on this final straight now. No,
he's called it. He's done.
DS9 dives at the pit, same as MCR. An absolute heartbreak for the Aston Martin of FPRL Locker there.
David, meanwhile, being the gracious winner he always is. Oh Lord, suck it, Locker. I mean, unlucky. Soprano Legend is literally, butt was probably clenching as he crossed the line and saw that he just got into Q3. Locker's probably going to be absolutely devastated. He's probably thinking, where would I have gained that 1,000th of a second a lap time? And I know how that feels as Eagle knocks me out of Q2 in Britain earlier on this season, as we set the same time, but he said it just before me, so knocked me out. As that's the end of the session, and unfortunately, we're going to run through our outies in this session. Squid, who only did one lap time, but it's still there's a potential 112.2 in 14th. TS9 only had one attempt at it, did a 112.1, is in 13th. MC on his second race in FPRL in 12th. And the big shock is Locker, who has fallen in Q2. So Diamond is probably licking his lips that one of his closest rivals is actually going to be starting further down the grid from him.
Yeah. I'm still gobsmacked about the time between the 10th and 11th place here. I mean, even to P9, that was so close. I can't recall a qualifying that's been so close in Team 3 this season.
4 temps it was from P1 to P10 from Soprano Legend and Locker. 4 temps spread. That is literally. Eagle saying, "I love it when you get knocked out, Gary." Thank you, Eagle. Not saying too much when I literally drove past like you weren't even there last week. I was running a dead setup and I still beat you. So
Shots
what's
fired.
the excuse now?
Shots fired, Eagle. Don't be taking that, lad.
No, me and Eagle were fine, especially after our incident last season. I think we've just kind of thrown it under the bus. Bygones be gone, and it just happened. But yeah.
You mean the instance at Monza where you took him out?
It wasn't a takeout. It was an accidental. I was tired and felt sorry for you. As I think that's Fish Sticks. Yep, that is Fish Sticks. He is the only Mercedes today. Again, I feel sorry for Fish Sticks. Fish Sticks has not had a teammate all season.
He doesn't
I can
need
tell
one.
you this.
He doesn't need one.
He says he doesn't need one, but it was an assassination at Monza. It was not an assassination at Monza.
I couldn't agree more, Eagle. It was a blatant assassination, and he got punished for it, lad. Don't worry.
I did get punished for it.
Yeah.
If you hadn't left the league, it would have been a 10. So thanks for leaving, giving me a 5 only. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, month forwards. Scotsman isn't here, but he's unfortunately not made it through to Q2. Sorry, Q3.
I will point out that the pole David Allface has made the pole for pole, but has used the Dutch way of saying pole or pole.
Pole for pole.
It's pole for pole position. I think he gave up. The pole for pole is live.
Yep, as Fish Stick starts his first lap of Q3, on down to turn 1, takes it very nicely indeed. It comes back and hits the curb. Coming through to turns 2 and 3, all about swinging the car down this embankment to turn 3, then get yourself set up for turns 4, 5, and 6. And it's very nice, sweeping past corners coming through this set of corners, but you've got to prepare yourself for turn 7, where you've got this bit of embankment, and you've got to hit the brakes a little bit to get yourself ready for turn 8. Fish Sticks taking this very nicely indeed. Fish Sticks turn 8 keeps off the curb on the exit, which we've seen. It takes so many drivers. Coming through turn 9, swing the car back around for turn 10. It's all about trying to get the car straight as you can so you can hit DRS, and Fish Sticks done a fantastic job here again. All the way down to turn 11 and 12. Hits the curb on 11, swings the car back on for 12, runs probably a little bit deep on turn 12, doesn't affect the car too much. All about now just picking brake out, point up for turn 13, getting the car straight for 14, and thinking about the run to the line. Hits the grass on 14 by the looks of it there. Pulls himself across the pit line, checking himself the shortest run to the line on 1:11.4.
That is the quickest time we've had all session. That is one of them. As Diamond just misses out. It's only by 30 hundredths of a second. And there's Panic N with 1:11.9, who's doing very well for himself over the last couple of races. Cruiser 1:11.9 as well, but nothing can go faster than that. Soprano 1:12.0. Where was that time in Q2, mate? Why did you make it so difficult for yourself?
Yeah, as
just dropped it.
Vala is back to his lap, so it's going to be on Scotsman here. See what Scotsman can do now. Coming through sector 3, it's all about, as I keep saying, just picking your brake, point up for turn 13, and hits the curve very nice, and exit turn 13, all through turn 14. As far down as the bank as he can, pulls it across as close as he can to the pit lane for shuts onto the line, and puts him in 1:12.2, which is, Scotsman was like he's struggling around this track.
As our favourite primate has arrived, TJ, in the chat.
It's what we like to see.
He obviously was having a banana.
Wow.
Lost track of time. Oh, it's because... No, don't make this out as a racist thing. No. If everyone's able to call him the favourite primate, I can make a banana joke. Because I made a banana joke last time in Tier 1 when he spun it in Spa, and I said he slipped on a banana.
I wouldn't be having that, monkey boy. Come on, lads. It's primate racism, that is.
No, it's not. No. As Mongo is the last person to set a lap. Unbiased vote. At the moment, Fish Sticks, Diamond, and Cruiser are all on 2 votes each for the poll. So, at the moment, Cruiser will need to find half a second. Gary, will you be nice? Gary, why did you have to show my spin? Gary, will you fucking be nice to... No. Monkey, you would not be able to live without me. Gary hates train. Yeah, I hate trains, especially when it's a fish sticks train. As everyone's now done their first ones, as Panic Ends back out again. Fixed. How is it fixed this week? I made sure it wasn't fixed. I did it. Killed TJ by the sound of it. Oh dear.
He's got me prisoner. He's got me as prisoner here.
I'll remember that next week when you're on your own again.
Wow. We're having less of that now.
It's just gone off. We've gone off the rails here. While no one's set. As I've just noticed, Val has set actually a very decent now potential. I can't fucking say that word. A valid time. It's now 1:11.8, so he's up in P4. So he's found that time. We just need. If we can get Soprano, Mongo, Scotsman, and Willy Bum into the 1:11s, this could really be a close end to this Q3 session.
Yep, definitely. As Panic and Cruiser have gone early in their runs, and they'll be able to think compared to the rest of the guys, but maybe they feel like they just need that extra run and give themselves a chance to come in perhaps for a fresh set if they need it. I am bothered with Panic Head, who's just taking turn 1 all the way down to turn 2 and taking it very comfortably indeed. Turn 3 for this embankment, swinging the car around for 4, 5, and 6. And once again, looks like he's got the car very nicely balanced here. Hitting apexes of 4, 5, and 6. All about picking bricks out turn 10. Set of purple sector 1. He's nearly 2.5 temps up, coming through to turn 8. Bit tensy, but avoids the curb. All about turn 9 now. And swinging the car back around for turn 10. And the car's looking very nice and obedient. So everything that Panic's asking for here. DRS wide open all the way down to turn 11. And we'll see what time he's got here. He's dropped a little bit of time coming through sector 2, but he's still just over 2 temps up on his time. So it'll put him into a very good position here currently, as long as he keeps a clean sector 3. Exit at 13, very nice. A little about keeping 14 now. Runs it just close down to the apex, the grass range as he can. Doesn't swing the car into the shortest runs to the line. But set to 1:11.10, puts himself provisionally P3.
Yeah, it's looking good for the Alfa Romeos. P3 and P5. Who else is here? Cruiser. Cruiser's got no front wing. So I have no idea what has happened there. I've just seen David in the Tier 3 members lounge make a really funny nursery rhyme for his incident in Q1. If you're happy and you know it, bash a wall. Good work, David. Let's see who is on a lap. Is it Button? Yeah, Button is on a slow lap, so he's obviously made a mistake and will go again. Gonna try and recharge the battery and go again.
Yep.
Cruiser, another tactical hit.
Yeah, just keeping that pole up his sleeve to the last second. As Panic looks like he could be doing another run here. Very surprised he won't try diving the pit to get a fresh set of boots unless all he's trying to do, but see what he's going to do here. And yeah, he's just rushing around to try to get into the pits to put another set of boots on.
It's going to be very close for him to get in and out and back round again. Same with Cruiser. I'm very surprised Cruiser hasn't decided to come back out, as we'll go back on board with Button, who's done a 24.9 in the first sector, but it's nearly a 10th down on his first lap, best laps first sector, so he's backed out again.
Yeah, I'm on board with Scotsman, and he was just at a purple sector 1. He was just over a 10 coming through sector 1 as well, and taking the sector 2 very nicely here. Bringing the car around for turn 10 here now. All about trying to straighten it up so you can get the maximum throttle down and DRS wide open. Hopefully Button stays out of the way as he comes down to turns 11 and 12. Scotsman looking very comfy. Cuts the corner turn 11 very nicely actually. All the way down to turn 13 now. And
Might get a little bit of a
he
toe
hit
for
the
Alpine.
curb, and he's invalidated his lap.
Oh,
He did look a bit squirmy there, unfortunately. And
go
Scotsman's
round.
got a lot to do here.
That would have been a 1:11.9. That would have put him up into P7. So let's check Mongo out. Mongo's coming around the final corner now. No, never mind. It's an out lap because it says it's a time lap. Actually, it's a 1:12.1, so it was a time proper lap.
Yeah.
Back in game.
I'm trying to see who's actually on the lap and who's going to come on first. Scotsman once again, he's a 10-foot through sector 1, but his DRS levels are not going to hold him through this lap, so he is going to be compromised, but he's getting a nice toe from Alfa Romeo ahead of him here. Coming down sector 2 and this DRS straight. Scotsman moves those tri-guide, a little bit of toe. Very cheeky from the Ash driver there, but puts the turn at 11 again very nicely into 12. And he might just have enough ERS here as he comes into 13, hits the entry curb, hits the curb on the exit as well, all down to 14. And his ERS level is probably just about going to hold, but doesn't improve.
No, that's Scotsman done for the first thing. As I'm going to go back on field of Fish Sticks, who is 68 hundredths up. And I'm pretty sure there's more time to gain in this final sector. As he hits it very cleanly, he's going to go tight, just straight to the line, and it's going to be an improvement of a 1:11.3. So, and now Diamond's behind him. He's going to set the next lap. Can Diamond beat that lap?
Diamond was down on his time through sector 2, and he's absolutely nailed sector 3.
Also, Willy Bum went up to P3 with 1:11.7. We didn't notice that.
Yeah, on board a Cruiser, who's a 10th and a half up, coming through sector 2. Going through 12, turn 12 now, all the way down to 13. And he needs a big sector 3 if he wants to put himself into into one of the top positions. Come through 14, go down to the grass verge, keeps it very clean and tight towards the pit wall. And puts himself P3 for 1:11.5.
What a lap. Here comes Panic End. Never mind, this has been lapped. Valor has lost his front wing, so that's all we have wrote. Wait a minute, where's Willy Bum? No, that's a dead lap as well. So that is the end of the qualifying session. Oh my god, those lap times at the end are 1:11.3. 1:11.326 for Diamond. Fish Sticks are 1:11.350 for him. So there's only 24 hundredths of a second gap between them two. Literally a blink of an eye. Blink and you miss it. And then there's Cruiser, who's made it difficult at the end of the session, but did get the lap when he needed to. Weary Bum with a great lap and P4 with 1:11.7. So Christ, the top 8 were separated by 5 tenths, TJ.
Yeah, that's crazy. And just it's nice to see it being carried through and how close it is. But you might have the quality pace, but you've got to have the race pace and protect them tires on this track.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, from what I've done in my team or Grand Prix mode around this track, the tyre wear is very high. So yeah, we could see a lot of slipping and sliding near the end of stints. As we'll quickly run through the top 10. So Diamond's on pole, Fish Sticks in P2, Cruiser P3, Willy Bum with an impressive P4 to sharp his teammate of Walker. P5 is Panic End. P6 is Soprano Legend. P7, unfortunately, is Button. P8 is Valor. P9 is Monk. And unfortunately, is Scotsman in the last place in 10th.
Yeah, unfortunate for Scotsman, he didn't look at a quality pace, but race pace, we know he's quick and perhaps his car sets up for the race.
Could be. He could have seen what the weather was. It could have been a different style of Could be wet, so he might have set up his car for the wet conditions. Uh, Monkey, well, we'll go to the chat. Cruiser's put Ferrari taught me well for hitting the walls. Cruiser's like, take that. Soprano Legend's happy with his P6. Diamond's just saying, get in. And then Monkey Bomb's like, the Twitter curse hasn't hit Willy Bum yet. As it's a dry start to the race. I'm not going to bring up the tyre compounds because it's going to let it be a surprise. Don't want to ruin it for anybody who's going to try and do a funky strategy. Speaking of strategy, TJ, if you were driving on that grid, one of the drivers on the grid, what would your strategy be?
I think it's a tough one, but I am a sucker for starting on the hard tyre, only because you haven't got the pain of going for warm up later in the race when you come out that for the pit stop, and I think having or getting warm tyres as soon as possible on this track is going to be pretty key. Now I must admit I don't know if it's a one stop or two stop here, so I would consider hard medium for definite.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we receive a hard medium or medium hard for most of. But I've done the number. I did some practice with those two strategies, and then I did a two stop where I started on a set of softs, and then when did soft, medium, softs, and I felt like my race pace was a lot more quicker. My race time was. So I don't know if I might try that if I am racing on Friday. I might give a two stop a go. Be very aggressive because I know, especially around here, track. I think the undercuts are very powerful around here because of being on warm tyres, you will lose a lot of time compared to a person with fresher tyres, even though by one lap. I think there's a massive gain to get.
Yeah, I do agree with that, especially for the twisty turn bits of the track where you need the tyre life. So I do agree the undercut is very powerful around here. So it'll be interesting to see what the drivers will do. Whether we will see anyone, well, I imagine we will see drivers try to pull the undercut. And yeah, I think we're in for a good race here.
As I'm thirsty, I'm giving you also a drink, DJ, as well.
Oh, very nice. I'll take that as a drink now. Thank you very much.
As we're waiting for Scotsman to get this underway, and then we can go through the rundown of the grid, the formation lap.
Yeah, it's very nice seeing them ready up for the host.
Yep, rule with an iron fist, as you say, TJ.
Rule with an iron fist, make everyone scared, make everyone respect you.
I don't think anyone in Tier 3 respects me.
I mean, I reckon they do respect you guys, but you like to push you to the limit and give you some stick.
Well, if there's one thing that we are hoping for this week, TJ, a better standard of racing this week compared to last week.
Yeah, the tier three guys, as quoted from me numerous times this week, have gone from one of the cleanest tier to the dirtiest tier, unfortunately, the past couple of weeks, and hopefully,
Oh, there's the guinea pigs.
yeah, the guinea pigs excited. And hopefully, we'll see tier three return to some clean standards we have seen throughout this season. And hopefully, it's been a bit of a blip, and drivers just get a bit frustrated with the way the game is.
Yeah, I think you know more than anybody else. Obviously, with Hungary, where it crashed, kicked us out. The absolute shit show of the race that I was not part of. France, where half the grid got a 10-second time penalty for speeding. As you know, it's drive-throughs because the delta was stupidly high. But hopefully, we won't see any of that. Fingers crossed. Just Wavy Gary, just a bit bossy lad. Soprano Legend saying he was just too fast last week. That's where all the incidents were from. Just too fast.
Yep, definitely. As the drivers now start their laps or the formation lap, and let's pull up the tyre details. And yeah, as expected, no one's starting on the soft tyres, but there's definitely a 50-50 split or thereabouts between the medium hards.
Yeah, the back runners are looking to go long, maybe cause a little bit of hassle for those front runners, which is what you got to really kind of do really when you're near the back. Go long, try and cause an issue for those front, hopefully make them make mistakes when they're coming up behind you. Do you want to run through the bottom 10 or the bottom 7?
Yep, sure. So in P17, we've got Tattoo Star on the hards. P16, Force Muir on hards as well. P15, David Lolface on the hard, and he'll be open to make amends for his mistake in Q1. We know he's definitely got the pace. Then we got P14, we've got Skivid, who's our first one medium runners. P13, FPRL TS9 on the hard tyre. P12, we've got MCR on the hard tyre. And P11, we've got the Aston Martin of Locker on the hard tyre, and we know he's got the pace, so we'll see him come through the grid, hopefully.
Yep, and then in P10 we have the Godfather himself, Scotsman, on those mediums in P10. In P9 we have Mongos, also on the mediums. VRL Valor in P8 on mediums. Button, P7, bit farther down where he used to be, on the set of mediums in P7. P6 is Soprano Legend. I think that's his highest grid position of the season for himself. P5 is Panic End. P4 is our last week's podium. Second place man is Willy Bum. In P3 is Cruiser, who got third in Spa. In P2 is Fish Sticks, and then our champion elect is Diamond on a set of hards at the front. As Fish Sticks hasn't penalised himself, disqualified himself.
Yeah, that's not good.
I don't know why.
He's not going to start on cold tyres.
I think he might be okay as he got up to the box. I think if you disqualify yourself early on, you get really cold tyres. But I know that's not entirely true, because when I was sitting in Hungary, my tyres dropped down from like 70 degrees to about 59 before we started going, which was not fun. As we got the world's worst camera, I'm really sorry about this. I'll try and get a better camera angle. Well, we'll go on board with Diamond.
Yeah, it's like passing away with go.
Great start.
Scotsman.
Oh, who's that?
Scotsman's on an absolute flyer here. I'm going to put that on the same post advantage there, but he's gone from P9. Oh, and there's been a massive crash behind.
Oh dear.
And Diamond's dropped it. Well.
Oh, he's come back on the track and he's...
Oh my... Oh, wow. And I do think Scotsman has forgot to put ghosting on.
Oh my god. Diamond has absolutely killed everyone. And it's not a safety car, but TJ, look who's out in front.
Yeah, Cruiser picking up the pieces from all what's just happened, but I mean, I think half the gang have come in for front wing changes here.
I think Cruiser and Scotsman have got away with it. No, hang on a minute. Is Scotsman got damage? No, Scotsman's fine. It looks like he didn't have a front end play. But yeah, we got a Scottish 1-2 at the front. Whoever thought that?
Yeah, I think
Monkey is absolutely right.
I think the top 5 might have got away with this.
Fish Sticks has got damage.
Fish Sticks jumped into the pits.
Mongo.
Yep, Soprano stayed out. Tattoo Star Valor's left the session. I'll get dropping invite now.
No, he's out.
Oh, he's out. Oh god, yeah, I didn't see that side. But yeah, at least half the grid here jumping into the pits. Diamond Douche is retired. Wow.
Well, he did say that he was going to make it easier for everyone else, as Soprano Legend has nearly dropped it into his own teammate. But look who's P5! Force Manure!
Yeah, Cruiser's checking out to Scotsman ahead as well on P1. But the moment the grid is all over the place, and I don't normally call for it, but we need a safety car to back this grid back up, otherwise we're in for a potential very boring race.
Just quickly while we get underway and we get back up and going, as Scotsman now pull back the gap a bit to just under a tenth. Oh, he's gone a bit wide! We're just going to pull him out of the DRS again. Diamond's asking if he can jump in cons to give a bit of insider knowledge to what happened on that first lap.
I'm happy. Go on, I'll drop an invite. I'm happy, gamer.
Yeah, we can make this as a free, as he's giving everyone a chance for today. And so we got to talk about Scotsman's start. What was that? That is the biggest load of host advantage I've ever seen. I experienced that last week, and I understand the power of it now. As Diamond's finally joined in the party. Diamond, are you there? You need to include your audio, mate.
I'm here.
So first of all, what the hell happened on that first lap?
You see, because I chose to go on hards, and the back of the pack was so far back, my tyres were stone cold. So I just lost it on the corner, and then I bounced off the wall and went across the track. Got smacked about a bit, and then when I came to the pits, Locker and I think it MCR or Skivid, one of them, were going really, really slow, and I hit the back of them.
Oh, so you retired hitting somebody who's going slow.
But we'll disregard all that and say I was making the season more interesting.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that. I think it's fantastic you give everyone else a chance, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Diamond's getting driver of the day for purposely taking himself out.
I agree.
As we go back to the race, TJ, I want to point out the P4 guy. It's Tattooed Star, who couldn't even get a lap in at the qualifying, but he has got front wing damage, but he's up to P4, so he's going to drive through it. And it looks like his car's a little bit more stable than it was in qualifying.
Yeah, perhaps it was the tyre temps that was throwing him, and if he's loading him, he's helped himself out there. But yeah, the closest battles on track are for P11 and 12, and for the lead of the race, the Vesta field is just gapped massively. I am very shocked to say the car wasn't called from all that from that first lap instance.
There may be a lot of angry messages to Scotsman later once everyone realised that Scotsman didn't put ghosting. I repeat, Scotsman didn't put ghosting. Blame him.
I mean, thinking about it, I'm not sure whether we had a ghosting on last season. He might not have done anything badly, but
dropped it.
Yeah, Locker's on the nightmare.
Oh. Locker, your championship rivals here in the commentary box. Where are you? Taking advantage from this. Nigel told me to be more nice to the Locker, but how can I when he's doing shit?
Wow.
I just call out how it is, TJ.
Yeah.
No Will Buxton.
Um,
That's now Scotsman's pressurising Cruiser very much now.
Okay, the top two in the championship are just trying to give everyone else a chance. That's what we'll say. Diamond and Locker are giving the rest of the grid a chance to catch up.
Yeah, oh, here comes Scotsman up the inside. He slightly taps the rear of Cruiser, but nothing's come from it. Cruiser's going to have to be really careful. As Cruiser, is that a moment? And Scotsman's that's as easy as you like from Scotsman, who is now in the lead of this race and has the best possible chance of actually winning.
Yeah, definitely. As TS9 has got moved on force manure into turn 11 with the help of DRS. Soprano Legends now has overtaken force manure before the DRS of turn 14. So yeah, force manure beginning to struggle already in these early stages.
Yeah, I've just seen Button all over the back of Mongo, but has Willy Bum all over the back of him. And it looks like, as I haven't got the telemetry, the data, Button has used all his battery, so That's not going to help him trying to make overtakes. And also, David Wellface up to P18 after his horrendous qualifying. Now the sole Ferrari left in this race. So, go David. No bye. I've just seen someone go a little bit wide and kick up a bit of dirt in front of him. Now looks like Scotsman is now starting to check out from Cruiser, so it looks like Scotsman's got some good race pace. You were right, TJ. I think Scotsman may have set up his car for the race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, has Diamond got anything to add to this currently?
Sorry, what I was asking.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was just seeing if you're still here and if you got anything to add to the race currently.
Yeah, Locker's letting me down.
Yeah, come on,
You heard
Stokey.
it now.
Come on, Stokey. You need to be doing better than P15 here.
Champ.
The closest battle still for P11, P12 between Button and Whirlybomb. And I'd still call we need desperately some sort of safety car here, otherwise we are in for a pretty boring race, I think.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm also pretty sure, and safe to say, TJ, that I feel like the safety car may have also been on reduced, because that should have been definitely a safety car, because obviously last week someone just bumped their front wing off, and we got a safety car in Tier 2.
I think it's EA logic. I think the safety car is always going to be on reduced, but I think it's EA logic. It's flawed. As Whirlybom's looking for a move on Button down to turn 11. Can't get the move done on the Alpine driver though.
He's probably trying to set himself up on Button, who also is not having a very fun race. So I reckon Button, Locker, and maybe Fish Sticks may have some bodywork damage, like rear wing or side pole damage, is what might be causing their lack of pace at the moment.
Yeah, I do agree. There's definitely overall. I mean, for the pilot there was, it wasn't surprising if we got rear wing and body damage, etc.
Yeah, but quickly passing on to Diamond. Diamond, let's have a look at your teammate who's now hassling my McLaren partner of force manure as he goes a bit wide on the exit as I start talking about him. Eagles let me know Button's car is damaged all over, so it looks like Eagle is driving a car that is falling to pieces. Will David try and make a move into turn 1? As someone's locked stick, Tattoo Star's dropped it! And that is a safety car!
Hallelujah! I am
and
so
he's in the middle of the
Tattoo Star.
Oh, that's just mean, TJ. This also helps Button, Willy Bump, MC and Squid, who can all get rid of those soft tyres.
Yeah, like I say, I'm so sorry to Tattoo Star. As the safety car is almost just taking force manure out, and David is thinking carefully about trying to get smooth here. The safety car is on a mad one.
So what makes it even better, right, is it's a Mercedes safety car, and it's just trying to wipe out the Ferrari. Oh dear, well at least that makes it a little bit more interesting now, TJ. I don't think we'll see any of the medium runners coming in, or the hards, because there's no chance that you're making it to the end.
No, not at all.
As Locker is about to be lapped. And I'm pretty sure his race is pretty much over. Scotsman's in the box. And Panic End.
Yeah.
They're going to set hard, so they're going to go long. They're going to expect another safety car.
I'm not sure you'll get the hards the full distance now without a safety car.
As TS9 is now up into P3 with The Alpha Tower is now P3 and P4 with David P5. Showing Diamond how it's done. Sorry, Diamond. Panic ends P6 on a set of softs. Fish Sticks P7. Mongo P8. Force Manure in the box on a set of softs. Bit confused why everyone's going on a set of softs. Squid on 8-lap old softs, which he... buttons on hard, wheel bums on hard. Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies. Locker, meanwhile, can't actually come back from a lap down.
Just send it, Locker.
Now.
Send it, see if you get a penalty now. Go on, lad.
All I would say is if Cruiser was nice enough and there was a gentleman agreement, because he could hear me, maybe try and make it go kind of off track where Locker could maybe get past. And then, obviously, the safety car game would tell Locker to overtake the safety car. But I don't know if that would be possible.
Michael
really need to...
Michael Mass is here.
Oh, Cruiser's in.
Yeah, it's a late call from
Can
Cruiser.
Locker overtake the safety car now? Can Locker overtake the safety
Go
car?
on, Locker!
Yes, he can!
Go on,
Yes,
lad.
he can! He can! He can unlap himself! Go, Locker, go! And now we've got Scotsman back in the lead of the race, but Cruiser might be ruining the decision, not boxing when he should have. He is in P8. I reckon he's done that, thinking now knowing that he might actually be able to make it to the end on those hards.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be close. But that's a nightmare call from a McLaren driver, to be honest. It's not a great overtaking track, this isn't. So it's going to be a long stint for him for definite.
We're just going to watch and stay on board with Locker now, who is the only person actually having a race going on right now. A bit of action.
Yeah, if Locker times us nicely, actually, he'll arrive at the back of the pack with really nice, warm, hard tyres, while everyone else is on cold tyres, and actually make some moves. Come on, fella Stokey.
Don't say anything yet, because he could easily drop it under the safety car.
Whoa.
Why is he using his back?
I won't be having you dissing Aston Martin driver anymore.
Why is he using his battery? He doesn't need to use his battery.
I mean, there is the risk that the safety car comes in without him, but I think he should get around with enough time to join the back of the pack.
So, Monkey's made a very good point here, right? But in less words. But this is Scotsman's to lose now if no more safety cars. And I think he's right. Because the only other person who's won't have to make another stop is Cruiser, and he's down in P8. Everyone else behind Scotsman has to make another stop.
That is a very good point, yeah. I mean, I don't like to give curses out, but if you feel like dropping the car at any point, Scotsman, please feel free to.
I think Scotsman turns off Twitch. I think he messaged just as we started. And then he goes dead silent. Apparently, from what Cruz and Force Manure have told me, Scotsman doesn't say a word the entire time while he's racing. Other than when he crashes out, there'll be just a few swear words, and then he would just disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, come. Look, it's now finally making his way back up to the back of the field. He'll be absolutely thankful for Cruz for going in the box and letting him go through.
Yeah, definitely. I reckon he could. Yeah, he's gonna hit the back of the pack here, and yeah, safety car in this lap, so it will slow Locker down. It will slow him down, I think, but he should have enough time to catch the back of the pack, and he's got the warmest set of tyres on the grid.
I think Scotsman's doing him a favour as well by signing him up so early.
Yeah, and he's going the back of the pack now. So yeah.
Locker's back in this race, ladies and gentlemen.
And Scotsman will probably look at going around the bottom now. It's almost if I knew what he was going to do there. And TS9's dropped it.
Oh, fuck. David Northface is now up to P3.
Yeah,
But yeah, Scotsman's absolutely done everybody on the start.
yeah, Soprano didn't expect him to go at the point he did, and yeah, he's dropped miles behind the ready. Lock on them warm, hard tyres, pumps up to P11, so it's fantastic for Aston Martin driving behind his teammate once again. So he just needs to keep his head calm now and continue what he's doing, and he'll surely get into the points and continue to extend his, or add some points to his tally. But it's nice to see the grid nice and close once again. But the top two have checked out. Panic Enderby looking want to make some a move onto David Lawface as quick as he can so he can make the most out of these soft tyres.
Yeah, I can see David's really struggling on those warm hards now. I'll be very surprised if David's not also carrying damage as well, because he was involved in the incident that Diamond was caused, well, inadvertently caused. Say that because he didn't mean to do it. But yeah, Eagle, if you're in chat, could you let me know if David has got damage as well?
Yeah, Panican makes the move onto David Lawface down to turn one. He's making the most on soft tyres there. As David got just can't get the traction out the corners on the hard tyres currently, and he's in front of his good friend Fish sticks now.
Yeah, I don't think David actually fought that too hardly.
No, it's not his battle. His Panican's got to pit again as MCR's at a moment coming through turn 2 and dropped it again.
Oh dear. As Eagle has let me know that David has no damage. Somehow has no damage out of all that. I'm expecting the tier 3 stewards to be absolutely crying at the sight of that start. Thinking, oh, my work is cut out for this week.
Yeah,
Walker
definitely.
and Rebum have done a nice little switch. I don't know if that was down to team orders or what, but now Walker is all over the back of Button, who's driving a bag of bolts at this point.
Yeah, I do think Locker will have the pace to get Button here. So wait and see what he can do. Locker's going for a move down to turn 1. Button hasn't defended that at all. He is going to try and make a move again, but yeah, hasn't tried to defend that much at all there with his bag of bolts, as people keep referring to it. And
Here comes Rebum.
yeah, Locker's a clean air once again and making moves. He's since the safety car restart, he's absolutely on rails. Aston Martin driver is.
Yeah. All I'm going to say right now to David is, David, teach the fish sticks of one of his lessons. Train his ass. Slow him down like he does to everybody else. David train. Choo choo. Oh, who's dropped it? Who's had an incident? TS9's had another moment at the back. Oh dear, it's not going well for him. As you know what, TJ, has Scotsman made a mistake? Scotsman has made a mistake. Scotsman has spun.
What
Soprano takes
an
the
absolute fraud! What a fraud! And he's stuck, and he can't turn the car around. And oh, this is disastrous for the harsh driver.
Come on, Grandpa, get going. Oh, Monkey, why have you said this? Scotsman's to lose. That's not down on me. I just pointed out that maybe Scotsman's made a mistake. Next thing I know, he spins. It's like I've predicted the future.
No,
there's going to be.
That's on you, that guy. Definitely on you, that is.
There is some definite C-bombs in that party. That Scottish party's in.
No, that's definitely on you.
Either he got distracted. He'll probably make the joke of, I got distracted by the Rangers score.
Why? What's the score, guys? You know?
No, I will check over it, Monkey. Ultimate bottle job for
They're
Scotsman.
losing.
Ultimate curse from
Right up the Rangers.
That's why he's good. Liverpool winning 3-0 against Ajax.
Shit on Liverpool.
Rangers are only losing 2-0, so it's not too bad for them. As now Panic End, as we go back to the racing, Panic End has is now going to pressure Soprano, but his tyres are going off. And Soprano legend, Mr. Liam, I really hope ABS Drive is watching right now. Good friends with those two, those are. Can Soprano turn this bit of luck that he's got, been given, into a race win here? Or
Well,
has it handed back Cruiser the lead of this race, being on the freshest compound of tyres?
oh yeah, we know that everyone ahead has got a bit of... They haven't got to pit, but you imagine they will pit at some point. The tyres aren't great. So Cruiser is in the best position here currently.
He honestly doesn't need to make any moves.
No, the last thing that Cruiser doesn't want now is a safety car, because that ruins his strategy.
Go back on Panic End quickly, as he's now got the DRS on Soprano. Soprano's going to defend to the outside. Panic End's going to go to the inside, and it's as easy as you like. It squeezes him a little bit, it forces him a bit wide. But yeah, cleanly done in the end by
Cruiser's just done a fantastic move into turn one on Mongo. Mongo definitely got the better straight line speed, but Cruiser tactically switched back on him into turn one and got the move done. That's fantastic from the McLaren driver.
Yeah, I was speaking to Cruiser before the race, and he was very confident around here. I've not seen him this confident for a track all season, so he said that this is usually not a favourite track of his, but he just feels very confident around here with these kind of cars. He's going to have to get past the mobile chicane of Fish Sticks now, who's still stuck behind David. So looks like David has got a good defence on him, as we now made it halfway through the race.
Yeah, as we've got a Wild Bidley that's joined us in the Twitch chat now, asking, you've got to ask yourself, why is the Monkey Man on the Twitch when he's on the Y with Mrs. Monkey? And I think that's a very valid question. If you're on the Y, you should be on Twitch.
Well, obviously, Mrs. Monkey is not that interested. That's why he's on the Twitch. Whoa. No offence. No offence.
Whoa.
No offence.
Don't be having that one now, Monkey. Come on. Come on, Monkey. Have him off for that one, man. That's yeah.
I think... Oh, no! Oh, my God. David's just fucking... Fish Sticks has just punted David and got past, and now Cruiser's got past at the same time. Oh, dear. That's not good for them. Peak from us. Fish Sticks has literally just hit his own friend. That is very naughty. David would not be happy with that.
Yeah, there's probably maybe a harsh word said there, but Fish Sticks was definitely the faster driver, and he had to get past at some point if he didn't want to. Cruiser getting moved on. Cruiser is absolutely flying on these hard tyres currently, and yeah, it's just, I don't know what tyre life is like around here. If you do imagine 17 laps on the hard tyres currently, he's got again another 17 laps. Oh, that's really poor maths for me. So it says 17 laps, isn't it? 16 now. I just can't see him sticking on them hard tyres, Fish Sticks.
Yeah, I've just seen Eagle say it was a tactical move gone wrong for Fish Sticks and David. Yeah, now Cruiser's got all this free space. Once he gets past Fish Sticks, he's got 3.2 second gap to Soprano. So, yeah, it looks like this is now. I'm going to say it. And it's going to be cursed big time. This is now Cruiser's to lose. I've been absolutely done.
Oh, Cruiser almost just lost it coming into DRS zone 2. Catches the back end. But Gary's absolutely been had off in the Twitch chat, ladies and gentlemen, with a fantastic comment from Monkey asking when Gary's going to go up with Mrs. Gary. And I think that's a very valid question, Gary.
That's a very sore subject. We'll move on from that.
Come on, Gary.
To be fair, I especially deserve that.
Yeah, you did.
And that could have been said in such a different way.
Bidley and the Primate are loving this.
Panthers and the comms we go. Is Gary not getting...
Eagle? Yes, Eagle!
No lightning.
This is fantastic banter in the Twitch chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, I'm getting back. Can we get back to the fucking racing pitch? Chris needs to not do anything stupid, if you can hear me. I can't believe that. I've just been bantered by him. Oh, Jesus. Where is Locker? Locker's now up to P6. But I don't think he's going to make it to the end. Honestly, he's a long way back. But it's actually Panic End, who I think when everyone boxes will be... For God's sake. Will be actually P2, effectively P2. So it looks like Cruiser coming in later on that stop, and Scotsman bottling it. May have actually helped the Scottish McLaren driver.
Apologies. Yeah, definitely. We are going to have a very surprise visit from a very good friend, Gary, who wants to jump in the comms box with us.
Who is it?
It's Bidley.
Who is it?
It's Bidley. Bidley would like to join and help us do a bit of
commentary.
Sorry,
mate. There's no space. Sorry, we've got too many people. Might have to kick Diamond out. He's taking a bit too much space here.
Whoa! Jesus!
Your division's de facto champion. You won't get rid of him.
Oh no! Force Manure's dropped it, and it's a safe. It's not gonna be. It's a virtual safety car, and Soprano's boxed.
Oh yes.
Gonna save us.
I mean, Fish Sticks has missed the opportunity into box.
No, I think he's okay.
Everyone's got the Delta glitch.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Fish
Sticks!
Oh.
Cruiser's managed to survive it. Cruiser slammed on the brakes, completely stopped.
Nah, the EA have absolutely screwed Fish Sticks there. And that is... Oh no. I mean...
Oh. So TG, you know when I mentioned about we hope to not see that Delta problem again? Well...
I mean, I can't believe after the game's been out for what, 3-4 months now, they still haven't fixed that stupid glitch.
I feel so bad for Fish Sticks. Everyone else was able to slow down enough to get under that Delta, except him. Like I was watching Cruise and everyone else just literally just stopped on the track, wasn't moving. And the only one who was rolling was Fish Sticks.
Scotsman picks the track everyone. He has absolutely bottled this race. What a nightmare from the Hash driver. As Fish Sticks dives into the pits and the service drive-through penalty. And I think we knew he had to pit anyway, but that's his race effectively over.
But now this race has gone to Scooters 9 seconds in front.
Yeah. Obviously, Soprano, David, and Mongo on the fresh and medium tyres, so you expect that gap to come down. But you've got to feel sorry for Fish Sticks at this point.
Yes, and yes. Yeah, but now he's not that far off, to be fair. Oh, wait a minute, never mind. He pretty much is out because I just realised couldn't make a stop. So he's going to have to come in again another time to get rid of those tyres, because there's no chance he's doing 34 laps on the set of hards.
Yeah.
But I can officially say now, Force Manure's point scoring run has come to an end at Zandvorrt.
Absolute shame for Force Manure, and I'm going to absolutely curse over McLaren driver and Cruiser. And this is Cruiser's race to lose. No pressure, Cruiser. But
Monkey,
you are
meanwhile, is
7.5 seconds ahead. And you are leading and controlling this race. Please do not bottle this.
I've just seen a very funny comment from Monkey, who's absolutely on the tear after destroying me personally and emotionally. Oh my god! How's David Fruit differentially from 15th? Meanwhile, Biddle, should David buy Gary a bleep this week if he wins the race?
Ladies and gentlemen, the bleep word is a very lady of the night that that can tease you and swing herself round some poles. So, ladies and gentlemen, Gary is getting brought to stripper over the weekend by his very good friend David Lawface. And I hope you enjoy it, Gary. Bentley has lost it in the Twitch chat. Things love to see.
Just to let you know, Soprano is actually gaining on Cruiser.
Yeah, you'd expect so. He's got fresh air and he's on medium tyres. The issue is that there isn't many overtaking spots around this track, and once he gets to the back in the McLaren, how wide will Cruiser make that car?
Tiers 9 with the first time penalty of the race. 26 laps in, which is very impressive from everybody. Oh my god, he nearly dropped it. God's sake, I need to stop talking about people.
Go on, speak about Cruiser. Go on. Oh, I was
about Locker's dropped it.
Locker, you fraud. You fraud, Locker.
And the sigh of his championship rival. It should be an absolute laughter, but it's a sigh. And he gets in the way of Scotsman.
No.
He's just.
Yeah, he's also got Nigel. He's also got Nigel Pickle that's going to probably call him some words in the Twitch chat as well. And this. Oh no! Oh. It hasn't gone well for the Aston Martin driver.
Please get stuck on the curb, please, please, please. Oh, I still got stuck on the curb. Oh my days! Imagine if that caused the safety car, TJ.
Absolute scenes of it
there. Who's dropped it? Someone's dropped it. Oh, it's just Lock again. For fuck's sake! I just saw an Aston Martin we were scrolling through, and I was wondering who dropped it. It was just Lock again, who has no front wing now. So,
Locker, you have one mission, and he's coming up behind you rapidly.
Don't you dare! Oh, who's dropped it? Squid has dropped it from a good position. Oh, he's in P8, so he's now got the Godfather behind him, but he's going to have to be careful on those tyres. Button's doing very well with his... As Locker is calling it a day, probably. And there it is.
I can only imagine what my fellow stage team is saying. I imagine he's very disappointed himself. But he had a fantastic race. It's just unfortunate that he dropped it. And, yeah.
Should we get Scotsman in for the interviews? Just as a banter one? No, the stupid idea. No. Don't antagonise him.
No.
As I've just noticed, Soprano's not gaining on Cruiser anymore. as much. I mean,
Yeah, the medium size have probably lost a shine now. And perhaps the crews had some cold hards as well, and probably gone into that temperature zone. But saying that, Star just getting about half a second on him.
yeah, but if Cruiser can limit the amount of time he loses on each lap, he should be safe.
Yep. I mean, we've got Battle P3 as well. Mongo is pushing David Wolfis along the track, and I mean, David from P15 to be sitting in a provisional third it's a fantastic drive for the Ferrari driver, and no doubt Darren will be tuning him across the line. But both drivers literally have no ERS, and so Mongo can't get them make the moves when he really needs the extra battery power.
Well, are you cheering him on, Diamond?
Of course. I'm just being very silent not to curse him. I'm just gonna watch him.
Anyway, Buttons having a ding-dong battle with Panic End. Did make the move into turn 1, but Panic End was able to go round the outside and defend the position. Fish Sticks has got the fastest lap, so he's obviously just going for the bonus point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we need to see much from our spot Fish Sticks. No doubt he's going to feel very angry about the whole game. And he's definitely been cheated there because he had to make it effectively a double pit stop. And yeah, ruined his chance for any decent points. But Cruiser, once again, he's lost about a second this lap. So even the medium tyres have got switched back on for Soprano, while the hard tyres are really beginning to struggle. And with 6 laps to go, it's looking very, very grim for our race leader currently. And anyone that watched the Grand Prix at the weekend will probably be seeing visions of the Verstappen hunting down Hamilton.
Oh, I cried when Verstappen overtook Hamilton. I was like, no! It was his best chance. Yeah, I've just seen. So I've noticed something. David has a great. I know he's got no errs. Got great straight line speed because he actually pulls away from Mongo on the straights. It's just in this middle sector that Mongo brings him back in.
Yeah, Mongo just can't get the move done when he needs it done now. That's the issue. I think Mongo needs to. I don't think Mongo can afford to drop back to recharge the battery. That's his issue. So it is a case of just hoping he can force David into a mistake here. But David has regained the battery and just blasting it onto the main straight where Mongo just doesn't have the battery power to close the gap up.
Yeah, now Soprano's 3.5 seconds behind, so they are now in the same camera shot. So, can we see the professional commentator get his win? I think it will be his first win in FPRL. He can cross the line, and but he's going to have to somehow get past Cruiser, as TS9 has gone around at the banking and is now blocking the banking. He's got to be careful because he's got Skrid coming around like a rate of knots. Skrid going to get past TS9. TS9 comes into the box probably to retire.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fair play to him for sticking in the race. But yeah, Soprano Legend again closing that gap down, not as much this lap. But he's determined to try and cut the gap as much as he can. Although it's pretty much stayed the same this lap. I'm saying that he's now coming down on the straight, so he's getting the traction up the corners where he needs it.
Here comes Mongo. Oh, he has a look, but he's not close enough. Gets to about 2 tenths by the end of the straight with the DRS, but David's just has enough straight line speed just to keep it. So if David can keep getting this good exit off that final corner, Mongo's not going to get past.
No, he's not. And this is where I think Mongo needs to drop back and recharge the battery to have a final push. But you must be wary of how long is left, and I think this is the issue about this track. It's not really a great overtaking track unless you're going down to turn one, really.
But I've also noticed the gap between David and Soprano is starting to come down. It was 3 seconds at one point. It's now 2.4. So David has somewhere in this race has somehow got a regeneration of pace from somewhere. It dropped back after the restart, but now it's starting to reel back Soprano in as here comes Mongo. We had another look but didn't go for it, decided to think better of it.
Yeah, Button's trying to make a move back on Panican to retake P5, but Button's got no ERS here, and they're dragging Willy Bum along very nicely. So Button in that bag of bolts that Gary keeps referring to it as, he's still trying to put a fight up here to regain P5. Although I do notice Button's fuel lights, and I don't know if that's a glitch in the graphic or not, but he might be able to fuel before the end of the race here.
Well, it's not flashing, it's just come up red, so he's probably very close to, probably has like 0.5 just over as now we looked at right up Button's rear. Oh, and has Button's dropped off. Oh no!
I think he's out of fuel.
I don't.
No, he's not.
No, I think he's realised he's going to run out of fuel, so he's trying to minimise it. He's like, well, I know Scotsman's 10 seconds behind me. She's going to try and save fuel to the end now.
Yeah. Lather from the Alpine driver there, but how much fuel saving has he got to do, and a lot of lift and coasting to do on these last couple of laps. But it says heating up towards the front again. Soprano Legend once again bringing the gap down even further. 2 laps to go though. Soprano runs wide coming out of sector 1.
Mongo's left the session. You gotta get him back in. Oh, you gotta get him back in. He dozed off behind the wheel for a second. Is that? No, I'm not saying that. Nope. I'm not falling for that one. David's probably cheering his way, and so is Diamond. That Mongo is now dropped off the back, so David's got a little bit of respite from the attack from Mongo. As we're going to go on to lap 35, 2 to go. Don't drive tired, kids. Save lives. As if Cruiser managed to make these hards do 25 laps.
The AI has ruined Mongo and pitted him for a set of softs. Oh no. Mongo.
Just quickly, TJ, if he finishes, does he get disqualified because his AI finished, or does he get to keep the position because he drove most of it?
No, he gets to keep the position. He's back in the race now. No doubt.
Oh, he's going to be absolutely fuming. Oh, he's got a Scotsman in front of him.
He was challenging for P3, and AI pits him, puts him down to P8. And I mean, he could challenge for fastest lap maybe, but what a shame for the Red Bull driver.
Buddy, I don't even understand why the game's put him in. He was only on 12 laps of fucking medium stint.
Yeah, I mean,
Cruiser,
that's just a game logic for you, unfortunately.
Cruiser's got 1 lap to go. Soprano Legend's going to have to pull out a lap of the century to catch up Cruiser. Cruiser just needs to coast it around for this final lap of Belgium World, as Mongo's picked up apparently and has dropped it. Dear, it goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happened to Mongo there, but he's now dropped down to P10, and that is absolutely disastrous for the Red Bull driver. challenging for the last podium place to barely scraping the points.
There's going to be, as Cruiser comes through the middle sector now, there's going to be a party in Brackley with the McLaren boys, with Zach Brown.
Yeah, you just got to navigate the last set of corners now, coming through 11, 12, taking it perfect here, all the way down to 13, and Will Vard on board with him as he comes across the line through 13, coming through 14, one last corner is a bit squirmy on the rear there, but he does do a little bit of a weave and comes across the line in P1, followed close by FPRL legend, who's David Wallface right behind it as well. Fantastic from the Ferrari driver there. Willie Bum's going to cross the line in P4.
Panic end.
And P5.
And then Button's actually going to make it. So his idea of fuel saving has worked. But look who's down in P7. Scotsman has managed to get points out of his absolute bottle job of a drive. Fishsticks P8. MCR has beaten his more experienced teammate of Mongo, who gets the final position. Squid will just miss out on points in P11, and TS9 will bring up the rear a long way back. Monkey Boy is absolutely fuming. Willie Bum breaks the curse.
Oh, the Aston Martin driver.
To be fair, Monkey, your curse has already been broken because you tried to curse me in Canada and it didn't work.
Whoa, Gary. Yeah. Come on.
As TS9 comes across the line, getting this go against the pit wall. And Diamond, do you want to stay here for the interviews?
Yeah, sure, why not?
As the game is giving David driver of the day.
As it should.
As it should. You know what, Diamond? When David gets in here, you can interview your own teammate.
Alright, cool.
Diamond is absolutely buzzing.
Oh, my game has... oh. Okay. Yeah, love you as always. I'm underneath the track for some reason at some point. As we wait for the celebrations to go off the screen, and we will bring up the things, and I'll let TJ get his clips and screenshots or any stuff he needs. But we'll quickly go through the results. So Cruiser comes from P3 on the grid, makes that one-stop strategy works, and finishes just 1.5 seconds in front of Soprano Legend in that Alpha Tauri. David Rollface makes an incredible recovery drive from P15 to get a podium. And then we have Willy Bum in P4. P5 is Panic End. P6 is Button. P7, the bottle job, Scotsman. P8 is Fishsticks. Absolutely probably raging due to that stupid Delta glitch. P9 is MCR. P10 is Mongo. P11 is Squid. P12 is TS9. P13 is Locker. P14 is Force Minor. P15 is Tattoo Star. P16, you've just heard him, it's Diamond Douchey. And P17, unfortunately, did not even get underway, was VRL Valor. As I'm sure everybody's in the party now. Yeah, we're all here. Good. So I'll quickly go and bring up the third place man's car. Quickly.
You do the third place man's car? I only do the first.
I show each car. I show all three cars.
Oh.
As my battery, I'm going to replace my battery while we can. Virtual showroom. I've got to look at this ugly Ferrari. Right, you ready to go, Diamond?
Not even got the yellow anymore.
No. You ready, Diamond?
Yeah.
Take it away.
Okay, cool. So, third place man, David Lolface, absolutely carrying Ferrari as usual because he's the goat. Amazing race. Can you just talk us through your quali real quick? Although I don't really want to point that out.
Um, yeah, thank you for your kind words, teammate. It's a bit strange being interviewed by your teammate, I have to say.
Oh yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah. So qualifying. Obviously, I didn't do a really great lap on my first lap, and I thought 12.6. That is god awful. So I'll just go out again on the same tyres, and I did improve slightly on the second lap, but unfortunately, I was pushing a bit too much on my in lap, and I got on the curb on the exit of turn 9, and yeah, it sent me right, and a light tap on the wall took my front right off. So that was that.
Yeah, not ideal. So move on to the race then. The race start wasn't ideal for me, like, but what was the race start like for you? What
Um,
was your thinking into going through the strategy and things like that?
so I opted to start on the hard tyres, which it can be a little bit make or break depending on the early safety car. But I thought I stuck with it anyway. Obviously, there was a lot of chaos on lap
Yep.
1. I heard there was a car that started in 10th that ended up near the top 3. I don't know whether or not that caused some issues or something else. But yeah, fortunately, I didn't hit anyone. I avoided the spun car turn 4. I think that was you, to be honest. And yeah, unfortunately, I lost it on the exit, so I ended up facing the wall on the left-hand side, and I was kind of awkwardly there for about 10 seconds while the car rolled downhill. But yeah, so not really an ideal start, but I stuck with my strategy on the hards, and yeah, it sort of went all right from there.
Yeah, the safety cars were very kind. But you drove a very good race, and it was a well-deserved P3.
Yeah, thanks very much. It was an eventful race until it wasn't. All of a sudden, I was defending for my life from Mongo, and unfortunately got kicked at the end. But I had a really fun battle with him, so fair play to him. Yeah, well done to the other two guys. Just couldn't match their pace today, so very well done to them.
Now onto the P2. Take it away, TJ.
Yeah, thanks, Garen. Congrats on your P3, David. So Soprano Legend P2. We'll talk about your quali quickly. Qualified P6. How did you feel about that? Were you expecting more, or is that where you were roughly expecting to qualify?
Oh, I think I was expecting a lot less than P6. I'll be honest. Q1 was just business as usual, and then Q2 didn't have a very good first lap, and then the second lap, literally 1,000th of a second ahead of Locker. Managed to get through to Q3, and then just sort of kept focused in Q3, and then got a lap that I was quite happy with in P6. Yeah. So I think good qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. Now starting P6, you obviously, pretty happy yourself. And then the race start happens, and we have 2 major crashes before turn 4. I mean,
Yeah,
did you manage to avoid any of that? I can't remember if you had to pit for front wing or damage or anything.
So I think I was literally in the middle of all of it. I didn't cause it. I'll just say that now. I did not cause it. But turn 1, I was sandwiched between 2 cars. I don't really know what happened there. Dropped back a couple of places. Then going forward, I see Diamond. You could tell he had spun, but then it looked like I don't know. I think on the stream, Diamond, you said that you bumped the wall and then came back on to the track. I don't know. maybe that is what happens. But basically, yeah, Diamond came back on the track and then hit Valor, and then I sort of got nudged on the side. I was very, very lucky not to get any like side pod damage or anything. Like the whole race, because there were other things that happened. I was so lucky not to get any damage, and that was definitely the biggest one. Because if I got any side pod damage, I think that would have been race over, and I probably would have just retired. And yeah, so that was something. And then the second lap, I spun, hit the wall once again. Luckily, didn't get any damage. I don't know what the damage rate is on in this league, but it definitely helped me today. But yeah,
Yeah, I think I don't think anyone can guess what the damage is like on this game. As David mentioned, he had the softest tap on the wall, and his car pretty much blew apart and lost his front wheel. And you can full
yeah,
blown smack a wall and just lose your front wing or get no damage as you got. So I think it's fantastic credit for me, eh? And you obviously benefited from that one.
yeah.
As we got through the race, you're looking pretty stable, and then the VSC gets thrown, and everyone gets the Delta glitch. Did you jump in the pit, or did you manage to avoid the carnage that unfolded with a few drivers getting drive-throughs?
So I had planned to pit a lap later than I did. I looked at my tires, and because of my spin and because of just putting my foot down, I guess it was a bit of a nightmare. So my tires are in like the 70s, high 70s on lap 22. So I was pitting anyways, and then the VSC came out. So that really really helped me. The VSC kept me in third place, and then I saw obviously Fish Sticks got his penalty. Unfortunately, it was really unfortunate for him because he had some really good pace on his hard tires. I'm not sure if he would have had to pit again, but yeah, was just lucky to keep away from that carnage. But as soon as we left the pit, and I think David will say the same, the Delta literally went to like plus zero point 0.5 or whatever it was, so you had to slam on the brakes straight away. And I think David nearly hit into me because of that. So
I just
I
wanted
hope,
to wave hello
yeah, I
on the
mean,
side pod.
I'm always happy for a bit of a friendly chat. Yeah, but yeah, so was lucky to pit. I think at the time I did with the VSC coming out straight away, and then obviously the rest of the race happened.
Yeah, obviously the race was on after that VSC. You got after VSC ended, and you come back out, and you got yourself in P2, and you had a bit of an uphill battle to try and pull Delta down. And on some of the laps, you were absolutely nailing it and pulling the second in the advantage. And some laps looked like you perhaps pull back a little bit to recharge or cool tires down. Is that what happened, or do you think that it's some laps you were just nailing it, and other laps Cruiser was just doing enough to keep the distance he needed?
Well, I always have the stream on when I do these races, and I think there was one lap where he said, "Oh, it sounds like or it looks like he's sort of dropped back and maybe his tires aren't working." My batteries and my controller disconnected, so I was having a mad scramble to try and
Oh
reconnect them.
no!
I think ultimately it didn't matter. Cruiser's pace was just absolutely immense today, and his hard tire stint was it was something special. So completely hats off to Cruiser. His pace was just too good for me today, but it was really really intense. I think it's the first time I can think of any race in any league that I've done where I've been in that situation. So I mean I've got a bit more experience now. You never know, Cruiser in the next race, I might be a bit closer to you. But no, fair play to Cruiser. He had the pace today. He was just a lot better than everyone else on track today.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's not much myself, so I'll let Gary into Cruiser now. But yeah, congratulations on your P2 Soprano, very deserved, and hopefully the start of many to come as well.
Yeah, let's hope so.
And
Congratulations to the other podium sitters as well, and everyone else in the race. And sorry, before I finish this, shout out to TS9 as well, who was very very helpful during qualifying in the race.
that's very nice of you, Prado. And I'll hand over to Gary to interview our race winner for today.
Yeah, it's been a while that I've managed to say this, but I'm here with our race winner. The winner of the first race of the season has got another win after having so many near misses. It's now made it 2 podiums back to back. It's Cruiser. So, Cruiser, do you want to go through that hectic qualifying session from yourself?
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting qualifying session. I didn't expect to be as far up as I was, because usually my qualifying pace is usually a bit weak going into the race, and I have a lot of work to do, like obviously during the race. But to get third, I think that's my best result since Australia, where I think I got a front row. But that's off topic. But yeah, I think just getting a good qualifying really helped me today. But give a shout out as well to Scotsman for that start, because what was it? He qualified 10th and was up and into second by the end of like the first sector. I look up at the time stream and I wonder where the hell did he come from? He
Host
started in
advantage is
10th.
what caused that.
So a slight. Well, regardless, though, they make up 8 places off of the start. It's definitely a good one for them. Unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be for Scotsman today, and as well, a quick mention to Fish Sticks getting unlucky with that like calendar of Delta that gave him that drive-through penalty. But I think in context of the race, I was kind of grateful for it because I was really struggling to keep up with him after we both cleared Mongo and David. But I knew once Fish Stick served that drive through, it was really just between me and Soprano Legend, just keeping that gap to a minimal. And although he did chip away, and I'll just say as well, maybe another day Soprano Legend, tables will be turned, and it'll be me doing the chasing as I look forward to that one. But I think I had just enough in hand, and thankfully I've got a second victory of the season.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about your race, but you've already said about your race. So we'll just go to one final question for you. Obviously, it's Monza. I think it's our third sprint race of the season, which there is a very lot of points up for grabs. So, are you looking forward to Monza, dreading it? Because I know it's going to be very tough on the medium, especially through Parabolica and Ascari. Are you going to be doing a lot of practice for that track?
I don't know. Monza is definitely a bit of a doozy of a track, but um, just need to see what happens because Monza last season when I was up in the higher tier, it was a good track for me until I just made one. It's all it takes is one mistake around Monza, and then you're in trouble. But like you said as well, with the sprint race, there's a lot more points on offer, but there's also a lot more points to be lost. So hopefully, I pick up a few more and maybe even a cheeky podium in the main race and take that for the remainder of the campaign.
Yeah, I think me and TJ were both congratulations on your race win. Was up the front, I would say probably dominated. Didn't really seem to be under pressure at all at any points. But before we end the stream and I do the outro, TJ, you got one final thing to do. You know what time it is.
Yeah, I've been Saturday debating it, and any of the guys in the top three deserve it. But there's two names I'm thinking of, and it's hard to give it to just the one driver. I wish I could give it to two. But I think, and this is no bias, obviously. I think it's got to go to David Lawface starting P15 and ending P3. It's fantastic driving. That's taking nothing away from Soprano, Legend, or Cruz. Both them guys did fantastic on strategies and pulled off what they needed to do. But David Goldface obviously had that uphill challenge, and I know he definitely got caught up in them incidents in the first couple of laps and had a few problems along the way as well. But yeah, fantastic for David. Congratulations to your driver day, and like I say, nothing against Soprano or Cruiser. I would have given it to all the of you if I could.
Cheers, DJ.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I probably would have as well, to be honest.
I wouldn't if I gave it to myself.
I know you would have.
Well, I got it last week for driving well under a broken car. So you can get it for anything nowadays. Anyway, as that brings us to the end of the tier 3 race, just want to mention, please join us for our rest of our tiers for the rest of the week. So tomorrow night will be the tier 1s. Come and join myself and David. Yes, I'm back, unfortunately for you. And then on and then on Friday, come and join Monkey and Cruiser as the tier 2s will be taking the final runs at Zandvorrt. And there is nothing else with no F2 now, so I know you'll miss it, but hey ho, it's done
Aw.
dusted. Yeah, you missed the commentary team of me and Cruiser. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Very interesting race, very hectic at the start. Thank you, Diamond, for that. Your money will be in the post.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And
Yeah.
good. TJ,
Pew,
would
pew, pew,
you
pew.
like to say goodnight to everyone, TJ, before we cut it off?
Yeah, thanks for joining everyone. Hope it was entertaining, and we'll see you again soon.
Yep, and the same here for me. And good night.
We love you, Gary. We do.
I haven't